Welcome back, everyone, to Red Spotlight for our Shield reaction commentary series. For the longtime Shield fan wants to come back on here and talk endlessly about one of our favorite shows of all time. Of course, I'm Alexis, and I'm joined here by David Francisco. Last time we were here, we reacted and commentated to episode 19 of season 2. And today we are here with the 20th episode already, titled Scars, episode 20 of season 2. This was written by Rafe Judkins and Lauren LaFranc and directed by Bobby Roth. It was broadcast on ABC on May 5th, 2015 to 4.45 million viewers. And our main cast is back, of course. Clark Gregg, Ming-Na Wen, Brett Dalton, Chloe Bennett, Ina Caster, Elizabeth Henstridge, Nick Blood, and Adrian Pilecki, alongside with reoccurring guest stars. Kyle MacLachlan is Cal, Henry Simmons is Mac, Deacon Lockman is Jain, Ruth Nega is Reyna, Jamie Harris is Gordon, Maya Stojan is Agent 33, Luke Mitchell as Lincoln Campbell, Patton Oswalt comes back as Koenig, as both Sam and Billy Koenig, Christine Adams as Ann Weaver, and Edward James Olmos as Robert Gonzalez. And this is coming on the other end of Avengers Age of Ultron, for those who want to keep track of the in-continuity tie-ins happening. Executive producer Jeffrey Bell said, "Our stories have to stand on their own. We're not getting blown up like we were last year with Hydra and Captain America, but some elements or some things from the movie do affect some of the relationships in our episodes moving forward in an interesting and constructive manner." That's all that they had to say about that one. Yeah, David.
First one's from Silver Sofa from episode 18. So excited for next week to season 2. Episode 19 is one of my favorite episodes, especially how it flowed into Age of Ultron, which, yeah, we mentioned it. And then next one's from Gary Marshall. Love the title of the episode. Oh, this is for episode 19. A great play on the 1967 film, The Dirty Dozen, possibly the first Suicide Squad. Also, R.I.P. the bus. Fury will be very upset as he loved the bar. Luckily, Coulson is director now, because if Fury was still in charge, they would have been going to missions in a Winnebago.
Which is exactly what Fury himself said. They're referencing his own line from episode 2, that if something happens again, I'm going to downgrade your ass to a Winnebago.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay. Gary Marshall again. In the next episode, season 2, episode 20, Gemma tells Fitz that she feels guilty about not killing Ward and that the next evil thing he does is on her. The next thing he does is kidnap and torture Bobby. Another traumatic event to add to her music box.
And we do know what that is in reference to, right? The music box that, or no?
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Okay, just making sure. So for those of you who are not aware, the music box that she evidently has been keeping is where she puts all her traumatic things into, which is of course healthy, right? We learn about it in season 6. So
okay, that's all though.
All right then. Well, without any further ado.
Previously on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Theta Protocol. You want to tell me what Theta Protocol is?
No.
I think in retrospect, as we have been saying the whole time, no matter how cool this tie-in is and everything, I do not really see the harm in just telling the agents, hey, by the way, guys, we have a break glass in case of emergency situation called Theta Protocol. It's a freaking helicarrier. Cool. Bye. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do. I this is not one of those things that I feel should have been kept secret from the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
No, yeah, especially to the main group and all that. They'll probably understand. They'll probably like the idea too.
A couple of things here for continuity purposes. We saw obviously this Koenig's obsession with the lanyards, but the note on the mirror was "Call your sister," in reference to LT Koenig, who we will meet in season 4. So love that little bit of continuity. I never caught that until recently.
I missed it. So, oh, that's awesome though.
I gotta tell you, it's not easy keeping something as big as a helicarrier a secret.
I loved seeing this the first time.
Yeah.
Especially after watching Age of Ultron. I was just like, oh, that was Coulson.
Yeah, it was Coulson.
She won't say much else about it. Not to me, anyway. You can go ahead and take that off now, Agent Palamon.
This scene right here confirms that there's no more Hydra programming in Agent 33. I feel like because there's so much happening, it just feels like 33 just keeps like people just keep forgetting about her, or they keep like pushing her further down and down, you know, the list of priorities.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically speaking, what should be happening is she should be taken away into a treatment facility, you know, because obviously if this confirms that all the Hydra brainwashing is gone, but she's still saying that Ward's a great guy, we need to do something about that. So there's that. Because of literally everything that's going on, it just kind of, again,
It's okay. You can trust them. They're my friends. They help save you.
we're just like, oh yeah, she's here. Later on in a scene, you're gonna see
Now S.H.I.E.L.D. knows we exist. They won't stop till they find Afterlife.
what's it called? Kara asks Simmons if she was also there in Hydra with Bobby. And specifically, well, we're not even knowing at that moment, she's probing her because she wants to know, ultimately she's aware that they're there to knock off Bobby. That's their real plan anyway, to kill Bobby. And so she's there to make sure that if Gemma had any kind of involvement in what happened to 33, that she makes sure that both Simmons and Bobby get caught at the same time, so they can then go murder them at the same time later on. You'll catch that because 33 specifically asks Gemma about whether or not that she was there. And then also that the thing that with Lincoln waking up, I mean, you just imagine Lincoln right now with all of what's happened, you know, going from being captured from Hydra, waking up to S.H.I.E.L.D., automatically, like right off the bat, because of the connection that Skye has formed with the Inhuman people, you see it coming a mile away. That there is kind of an inevitability of a confrontation happening. And you know that would happen regardless of any kind of relationships or dynamics on either side of things. But when you have somebody like Reyna that's already moving pieces,
With their deep cavities carved into it.
like this right here,
How did you know? This could mean the end of us. I don't understand. If I see the place, I'll know it.
It will be easier if we're together.
there's Reyna's theme in the background, which was also the Centipede theme.
Go. Find it.
And I don't know if they did this purposefully with the makeup, but it also just feel like Jiaying's scars are a lot more visible and prominent. I don't know if it's just me. Not that they weren't there before, but it's something that just caught my eye. It also kind of remains a little bit unclear because, you know, look at Jiaying's careful wording there. Like, she's only, you know, through stories that have been passed down through generations about, you know, the description of this rock. I don't know if you feel this way, but there may be an implication there that Jiaying knows, if she's the keeper of the records, right? Then she's probably well aware of Hive's existence. Because if she knows the stories of that rock, then she probably would know what that rock was used for, which was when the original Inhumans bound together to banish Hive away because of the sway that he had over everybody.
So you, of all people, should understand why they'd want to keep their location a secret. What they're so afraid of.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, I I would hate to talk over that. That was
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
No, yeah, it's all good, and I mean, it's still adding on to the paranoia. What would we say? The theme paranoia.
Yeah.
It lets her control you.
What do you think I'm trying to do?
Oh, I don't know. Create chaos?
Why would I do that?
Because you thrive on it!
Back off.
Cal.
The thing is, Cal isn't wrong.
He's
Like every word of it is like he's right, but it just so happens to be that Reina isn't lying, right? Like she's actually like that's the thing.
yeah. It's really hard to tell. I mean, it's funny how Cal can like see through her, but can't see through his own wife. I mean, obviously he's not gonna want to.
Well, no,
You know,
I don't know if. Well, what is it that's happening? Do you think like Cal can't see through it, or that he lets himself be played? Because there's a difference. Like, there's a difference between not being able to see the fact that someone is manipulating you and you allowing people to manipulate you. Because ultimately, Cal wants a reunification of his family. And I think what we're going to find out in the next few episodes is that Cal literally remade himself to still fit in and be close to Jiaying. Because the old Cal was just not going to work with what Jiaying had become. So it's like, even like right now in this episode, we're going to see a scene where she basically convinces him to like turn himself over. Although there's a part of that discussion that we don't see, it's off camera, which we'll find out in the following episode, that she actually had like sent him with this vile stuff that was going to make him into this, monster and like kill as many SHIELD agents, right? But it's like, when you watch that scene, you're going to be like, can he really not see the fact that she is playing him right now? And I think he can. I think he has to believe so much in the fact that he is going to be able to win at the end of the day and bring his family back together, that he either overlooks it or pretends to not see it. Maybe that's what it is. We'll find out right now. Although when we watch the scene, you're like, do you not see what's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be coming up pretty soon right now.
Oh, yeah. Also, I was gonna mention.
I think I'm up.
I keep loving Bobby's like one-liners whenever it's like comes to the defense of someone.
Yeah.
Especially when she mentioned when they went like, I was like, "Oh, cool secret between you and Fury," and she's like, "They saved the day." Like,
yeah, for sure.
Don't be taking away some information on stuff. Come on. So she's always just has the best
I
one-liners.
spoke to Sky. This woman she keeps talking about, Jiaying.
Yeah, it feels like
It's her mother.
she's like the only one that like is level-headed, because she had spent so much time with Coulson. She trusts him. She believes he is a dependable person.
Mm-hmm.
And so she knows different. The other ones still have their misgivings.
I would never have shot you, but I should have stopped you.
I never lost control.
Sky's living proof that you did.
Now, is she wrong? Or is she right to say that? So if you're taking the SHIELD perspective, again, at this point, nobody here at SHIELD has any idea about like Sky's heritage or any humans or how all that stuff is going on over there. They barely just found out that Jiaying is her mom, okay? So, but I guess, what do you think? Do you think May is wrong to say that? Sky's living proof that you did lose control.
It's hard to say because, like they mentioned it before many times. It's like Hydra is also after this, so like there's no. Even if he did not have these visions, every path is going to lead them into this. So it's not fully his fault and all that. I don't know. It's really complicated.
Jiaying can't meet with S.H.I.E.L.D.
If it's not Jiaying, then who?
Again, here,
Well, maybe it should be me.
how it ends, maybe it should be me. Of course, it's like, oh, you bitch, you're trying to like usurp, and then like, no, she's right. Every word of what she said is correct. Look at what Jane's doing right here. She's getting things ready.
Ultron was created because people were too close to Tony Stark. They were blinded by his charm. They trusted him. Never even thought to look at what he was working on. The Avengers, they let one man do whatever he wanted.
Yeah, but Coulson is a long way from Stark. A long way from Stark. And we've already established, Gonzalez, that your council is now watching and looking into Coulson. So, again, not a fair comparison. And then also, I'm sorry to say for you, Coulson was right. I think banking on that personal relationship was the best course of action. But again, I mean, maybe Gonzalez just saved Coulson's life here by sacrificing himself, because quite frankly, that's probably what's going to happen no matter what. Like, ultimately, Jiaying, as we have come to find out, was out for blood.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to kill whatever S.H.I.E.L.D. agent walked in there. Okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and
go ahead.
if we can believe that she's like as crazy as Cal, Sky's dead. She probably would have seen Coulson as a threat. Coulson and May, as a threat. You know, it's like, I want my daughter. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, it was a good thing Gonzalez took over.
Yeah, even though like ultimately I disagree with the decision in a vacuum. It's like, I mean, forget about knowing what happens after the fact. It's just like, I mean, I get where Gonzalez is coming from, and like, I don't think it's necessarily wrong, but again, it's like they just keep assuming the worst in Coulson.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Coulson's way better than that. And they, again, to their own peril. So, and then here we go. Here's this other shoe.
I had my own brush with something alien, and I know better than to mess with things I can't understand, but it seems like you haven't learned that lesson.
I'll have you reassigned to the carrier under Gonzalez.
No. As much as I like and respect you, sir, if you're the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't want any part in it.
It's a tough thing. And, you know, Mac really can't be blamed for the things that he saw and the things that he knows.
Mm-hmm.
He saw Coulson at a low. He saw Coulson fucking psychotic, pushing people into cells, having to be restrained. That leaves an impression on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, when you add in the whole idea of him being brought back from the dead with alien blood, which then led Coulson to write on walls, and then somehow, crazily enough, this led to an alien city where then Mac himself was held hostage by a damn alien parasite.
You've met these people. Tell me honestly.
So in case any of us
You
forgot,
trust
and then of
them?
course Trip died, and then... Did Cal just break a table?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I left the line of like, sorry, it looked old. Probably was very old.
He does care about
Phil Coulson.
She was telling me about something called the Index.
The Index? Do they want to? No. They will brand you. All of you. You have power here. Lots of it.
To do what? Openly attack them? Blast their planes out of the sky?
Well, for a start.
Our daughter wouldn't want that. You're as bold as the day I met you.
Is it just me, or is like this is like the only moment where there's like a genuine connection with these two? Like there's chemistry with these two. Like in the past scenes, it really just felt distant, especially from Jiaying. But this one is like, all right, I really gotta think this through. Open war here, or
because she's
play
being
along,
honest here. Did you see what she just said?
No.
It's me who has changed.
Mm.
That's her telling the audience and then the rest of us, I'm the person who has changed, not him.
Let them have me. S.H.I.E.L.D. loves it when they get to lock someone up. High fives all around.
You see, now I'm not sure. I was watching this earlier today. I thought here she was playing him to like surrender himself over. And now I'm like, well, maybe it's both. But you are right. This is the most genuine moment these two have had alone. Like, I think she genuinely meant, like, so many people diminish with age, but you are as bold and strong as the day that I met you. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, the context that we don't know as viewers just yet is she really has changed for the worse, and he had to basically follow her into that. Like, the monster that Cal became is because of her. And it's a weird situation because I feel like she both detests him and still loves him in a weird way for that, you know? It's a complicated mixture.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what makes it so good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Were you able to locate our insurance policy?
Took some digging, and I'd appreciate a bit more notice in the future.
Yeah. And again, this is all purposefully laid out for us as viewers to be like, you sneaky bitches. Really? What bullshit are you going to pull now and fuck it all up?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course...
Has us descending. You sure about those coordinates?
Have you noticed the two Mays?
Funny how you're so broken up about betraying Hunter.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
That's right. Like, yeah, they walked out of the base. Yeah. Again, it's like... That's the thing about 33 is for as often as the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents forget she exists, so do we. Mm-hmm. So again, it's like there's so much going on. It's like, oh yeah, that shit's still in play. We got to bring Ward back into the fold somehow, right? So that's our thing.
That was actually a really cool fight right there. Like they were just like punching each other right in the gut for a while. That was really cool.
I guess 33 was able to disable the Quinjet. That's the only explanation for why Bobby even got off. Because if it were me, I would have like, why would you get off? Like turn the thing back on and fly away because you knocked her out. And then you step out and then boom, ice by Ward. So I assume Kara disabled it.
Yeah, because I mean, she was the one that set up the coordinates and everything for autopilot, so she probably would have done something after that.
Their leader agrees to meet. I'll handle the rest.
Lock in. Touchdown in 5.
You know, and it's not said. She's not going to say it outwardly, but you just saw it on the look on her face. You know, there is obviously a lot of
I had a purpose.
Conflict within
It's
May.
nice to finally see what it is.
You know, right now, like she's just kind of like trying to move forward as like being the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, you know, she is, but she still very much just feels like betrayed by Coulson. And then she's also not sure where Skye stands either. And I think while she's not saying it outwardly, she is also kind of afraid of losing Skye because May probably will never admit this out loud, but for as much as how Phil sees Daisy as a daughter, I think May can say the same thing. And I feel like she knows this confrontation that's about to happen can very, very, very easily go wrong. And I think that look definitely showed all of what's going on through her head. And she's about to have an exchange with Skye here in a few moments that I think is like a telltale sign about like where she's thinking, because she also feels like she's about to lose somebody very important to her, which again, like at the moment right now, she's like not very on great terms with Phil, and so.
No, yeah, actually, when you brought up like May, some part of her feels like Skye's her daughter. When she said that line to Phil of Skye's living proof that you lost control, I don't know why, but some part of me like thought that she was also saying like, you lost control, now we lost like our daughter. Like that's also how she meant it. I don't know. It was just that's.
I know. You know what? I didn't think of it that way in the moment, but now that you said it, I 100% believe that's also in there too. I agree with you.
Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, as she said that line, I'm like, oh, you're the reason we lost our daughter. Like, that's like that popped into my head. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I do understand the larger goal.
I'll call one of my people.
I agree with you, David. I think that's a really good observation. I mean, obviously, it was. I mean, I didn't put it together in the same words, but I that's actually a really good way of looking at it because, yeah, she's just like.
I was always excited to meet you.
With her.
Even when you were
fear of powered people.
In your mother's belly. Oh, I had all these ideas and.
Combined with the fact that they've made Skye feel very isolated, she feels like, damn, we really did push her away, and we may have lost her forever. This scene.
Grateful. God, I got a chance to know you.
I'm glad I got to know you too.
Go on. Open it.
I would tell her what it is. I wouldn't just say it that way.
I know, right? Just be like,
I mean,
open it yourself. Turn it and push it.
What about you? Why can't you be in there right now?
I told you. We needed someone objective.
That's like the closest
yeah.
that we'll ever get, honestly.
I know that you were separated from your daughter. I thought that might belong to her. A traditional Chinese gift to ward off evil spirits, isn't it?
You know what? It's like we gave Gonzalez very little credit, but this approach, honestly, should have worked if he were dealing with honest actors. And Jiaying is not an honest actor. She had already planned a coup. Not really a coup. She had already planned this whole thing.
We'll deal with them when you get back to HQ.
Yeah, that would be a red flag, guys.
What are these?
Beats me.
That especially would be a red flag. I'd be like, can you get this person away from us, please? Or ice him or something?
He tried to kill me. Shield tried to kill me. This is war.
That was such a cool turn, honestly.
Yeah.
When I first,
And then we'll kill her.
She's waking up.
Don't want that.
Okay, let's just go ahead and jump into Ami because,
What is his plan? What is his game? Dude, I am just... what was the vials that was on Cal? Why was he like, oh, I don't know. What do you think they are? Blah, blah, blah. We don't know how he got his powers. We don't know where he got his strength. Did they like juice him up, hand him over so that he would be on the inside and then he's gonna Hulk rage? Because clearly everybody but Skye was in on this. So did they just take Skye into Reyna's little thing to appease her, or did they all buy Reyna's thing and make that whole thing just this whole performance to agree to lure them in and take out their enemies? Now they've provoked them. What the hell? I didn't see that coming, man. So was Reyna lying? Or is this a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing? Was it true or was it not? At the end of the day, I guess it really doesn't matter. They are just gonna defend their people end on end. But I do think that Gonzalez, one, I don't think he deserved to die because in the end, he ended up being pretty open and thoughtful. That whole little backup weapon thing. This is our contingency. And it was this gift. It was a gift. I thought he was going to come in there with like a piece of that murder bucket rocks thing and kill her. But no, she did it first. The fact that they don't have any pure Terrigen crystals anymore. They had to grow them with the diviners they had left over, corrupting them, making them poison to people just by nature. That's wild. Damn it, man. Wow. So I have to imagine Cal's juiced up on something, man. With the way this coup played out, he's in there locked up, handcuffed, and he's going to freak out, and it's just going to be a battle quaking in Afterlife. I get it, man. She's been hurt. And I do think Gonzalez touched on a really wrong button when he compared his little limp to what actually happened to her. Had she not had her powers, she would have been a meat bucket pile of goop on the side of a mountain. It's not comparable, but holy shit. I get it. Protect your people. It sucks. Like there was a peaceful end to all of this, but they've been hurt so much, they can't foresee anything other than this as a threat. And internally, no one in S.H.I.E.L.D. right now trusts anybody. Everybody's so fragmented. Hunter Fitz, everybody, just, it's broken. Coulson, the council, they were all doing stuff behind his back when they're bitching about him, doing stuff behind their back. Max quitting because he's can't, the trust issues are just too much, even though I think that's just complete bullshit. The whole Mac thing, I think that's just, I don't know, man. Don't know. Fuck him. I don't care. Quit. I don't know if she motivated her. I don't know if Jiaying is doing this because she believes the vision, or if this is just Jiaying's own actions. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I'm fucking God damn it, man. This is just a shitty situation. I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know what's going to happen after this. I really don't know. I just feel like chaos is going to ensue. My mind's a mess at the moment. I'm glad they didn't send Coulson. Coulson would have died. Well, no, what do you ever, can he touch it? I don't think we've ever seen him touch any other shit. Well, he wasn't.
But you will.
Yep.
But he does have it. So would he have been able to survive that if that thing was impacted like that in that moment? Maybe they should have said Coulson, because if he was immune to it, that would have proved her point. Or not even proved her point, given them more leverage. Because then they would be like, oh, they got one of us on the inside. Okay, maybe. I don't know, man. There was so much back and forth of like what was going on, and I don't know what's what. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to trust. On top of not knowing what to trust, Bobby got lured out here by Not May. Oh my god, dude. Dude, I've said this so much by this point, I don't think Ward gives two shits about her. He's just manipulating her, earning her trust, because she is an asset he can use. And again, how does she eat? Because we've seen the mask, and I brought this up before too. We've seen the mask. It covers your mouth. How does she live? Unless they cut like a slit there, glued it to her lips so she could like, nop, pop, pop. Dumb little thing to get me off of this fucking chaos and drama that's got my blood boiling. So now that her memories are back, she's remembering that fucking...
I mean, I assume the mask absorbs into the skin and like leaves the nostrils, the eyelids, and the mouth and the ears uncovered for obvious reasons.
Do you remember? Oh god, it's so scummy. There's so much scum all over this. There's scum everywhere. Oh my god. I don't know, man. I can't give a coherent thought right now. Apt that this is called Scars, because they've been hurt so much they can't let it go. And then they tried to compare their wounds. Not even just theirs, man. Cal's wounds. You know, you gotta respect at the end of the day, though. He's like, hey, I don't like any of these people, and far less Coulson, but you can trust Coulson. Coulson's not the one that showed up, though. So that is also just a little sketchy little moment to when he wasn't the one to walk through those doors. So I'm wondering if that was part of it, when she was like, oh, Robert, you're not Coulson. You're not this Coulson I've been told to trust. So them sending him maybe gave her the ick. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like things probably would have went a whole other way if Coulson was the one that went in here. But who knows? We really don't know. Them coming in here and wanting to index everybody, I understand why they would need to do that, why they would want to do it. Obviously, though, on the flip side of that, no one would want that for themselves either. So, like, coming in here and be like, oh, you want to tag us all. You want to keep track of us all. I mean, he's got good reasons. But, again, they've been hurt by similar rhetoric before. Seen bullshit. Even like Lincoln said, like, Hydra said the same shit to me. And they're like, we're not them, we're not them, we're not them. But at the end of the day, when I was like, oh, Godzilla's going to fuck this up, he actually went in there like with a genuine attempt. I thought he was going to go in there like fucking Dragon did when he tried to pop off and kill Daisy when that wasn't the plan. You know, everybody was using icers, but he was using a real gun. I thought this was going to be one of those situations where he was going to scoop in there and, oh, shit went bad. She attacked me, so I killed her. Something. I don't know. But in the end, no, he went in and played a good faith effort and died for it. Good job. Shit, man. I don't know. I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I'm having a hard time forming a coherent thought right now because this is such a frustrating episode. Good episode. Amazing episode. Don't get me wrong. But it's got me emotionally riled up and distraught.
Yeah, basically. Eric Goldman, IGN. He says that he enjoyed a lot of the episode, but he felt there was clunkiness at the top, considering the tie-in to Age of Ultron. He said it was fun how Coulson was the one who found out Strucker's whereabouts last week, and thus let the Avengers know where to find him, even if they didn't know that. But it felt a bit shoehorned in to also credit him with being involved in the helicarrier. Agree to disagree. Okay.
Disagree.
Yeah, clearly. I think what really made it all a bit much was simply that S.H.I.E.L.D. has a lot of its own storylines going on right now, but they had to do this tie-in to Age of Ultron at an inopportune time, right at the end of the season, as the show is building up to a major confrontation. I mean, I get it, but I don't think it disrupted things too much. I mean, maybe you could say, okay, they dedicate the first 5 minutes, and then we get back to our story. So
yeah, basically what you just said. But then also, it helped with this episode because we keep saying like paranoia. That's like the theme of this season and all that. With what happened with Age of Ultron, that just made the paranoia.
Are you
rise
saying
even
that
higher.
the creators of this show used what happened in the movies to add what is happening on the show for the story and its characters? Interestingly,
It was,
of course, that's a one-way street.
Yeah, and I mean, it was really cool when Gonzalez was like, the Avengers let Tony Stark do whatever they want, whatever he wanted. Like they never paid attention to what he was making, and then look what happened and all that. I don't think we ever get like any other perspective about what Tony did besides like Ant-Man. But with that one though, he already hated Stark.
No, and it's hilarious because again, and I don't want to. That's a whole other thing, but I feel like when the Sokovia Accords were passed, one of the very first people they should have arrested was him. I mean, retroactively, right? Because I mean, the whole reason why Tony is even in the position to support the Sokovia Accords is because he acknowledges that he fucked up, right? And the people that died because of Ultron, because of him, basically. But in all actuality, all this shit wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you. Don't drag me, David, into this Team Iron Man, Team Cap thing. I lived it once. I do not need to go through it again. Because God, it still infuriates me. Look, RDJ and Tony Stark, great character, great performance. I loved him in the movies, but I do feel like people are way too kind to overlook a lot of his shortcomings, and a lot of people were way too quick to judge Steve Rogers for all the choices he made. And I'm not saying one person was completely right or wrong. You know what? I am saying that. I am saying that. And I feel like most people completely missed the boat on that. But that's a lot. Anyway, however, the confrontation certainly is exciting, and I continue to like how we're seeing Jiaying in a new light, which here crossed the line to villain as she straight up murdered Gonzalez and claimed he shot her. Okay, that scene raises some questions, like why Gonzalez didn't see any of the clear "I'm about to do something awful" signs, or how her plans seems predicated on no one running into the room and seeing his crumbling corpse, though I suppose she'll claim she shattered Crystal in self-defense. Either way, though, the depiction of Jiaying as a hardline and human whose own horrific experiences have turned her into a Magneto they'll never accept this type is a fun one. And they're called Inhumans, officially in universe. I guess this is the first time they do reveal the name, huh? Yeah. Okay. We had Fitz's little comment earlier, but now it's actually what these guys are calling themselves, with nothing coy about it. It makes me even more curious about these events, how they could at least impact down the line. Well, don't look too much into that, because you'll find nothing but disappointment there, right? It was a nice double swerve when May turned out to be 33, and then when Bobby won their fight, only to walk outside and be shot by Ward. This was especially cool because Ward had been kept off screen long enough that it felt like he simply was sitting this episode out. Reyna, meanwhile, remains a big wild card. No one trusts her. But given how things went down with Jayen Gonzalez, maybe they should have? And there's no way Cal and his Mr. Hyde serum are just going to sit out the finale. So it should be interesting to see how they play into this S.H.I.E.L.D. versus Inhumans confrontation next week. Cal's made it clear he is out to protect Skye above all else, while Skye isn't sure which side she's on right now, which makes it for a pretty intriguing mixture. Oh, and Mac is quitting. By the way, I just laughed hilariously right now when Ami was like, what did he say? Like, fuck him, I guess?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
dang.
I gotta say this. I feel like now having seen the whole show, I'm a bit more understanding of Mac. But while I was watching the show for the first time, I feel like Mac could be too much sometimes. And this was like, you know what, dude? Fuck off then. You know what? If you don't want to be here, you don't got to be here. It's like what Tripp said about May when Coulson and company came back from that episode where they protected the cellist, Audrey, from the light monster person. They went back to the snow base and they found out that May had gone. And then Tripp said hilariously enough, you know what? We don't need her sorry ass. You know, again, great memorable line there by Tripp, of course, R.I.P. But yeah, but of course, Mac will play a big role in the finale and an even bigger role in honestly every season going forward. I think at this point, this is Mac's first season. We're still kind of like not sure, like we don't know that much about him really this season just yet. So we're still in the infancy of Mac. So at this point as a viewer, you're like, plus, you know what? I don't know. We have to probably compare this to all the other seasons, but it feels just by my memory, and you correct me if you feel you can think of a different season, but do you get the impression that season 2 by far has the largest cast? Because there were so many players. Like we have Team S.H.I.E.L.D., Team Real S.H.I.E.L.D., Team Inhumans, Team Hydra. Like, there's a lot of people on this cast.
I would think so, for sure. I mean, the other seasons, they bring in, handful of new characters every once in a while. But this is way more than that.
This season, it feels like they not doubled, but like tripled, or if not quadrupled, the number of people. I mean, okay, let's see. We have Coulson, May, Skye, Fitz, Simmons, Ward, 33, Bobby, Hunter, Mac, Jiaying, Gordon, Reyna, Lincoln. Did I say Gonzalez already?
I don't think so.
No, Gonzalez, Cal, but there was also, I mean, oh God, I feel like I'm forgetting people. We had Deathlock in there, for a while we had, Isabel Hartley, we had, for an episode, Idaho, of course, Tripp counts for the episodes that he was there. Sunil Bakshi, Daniel Whitehall. How many was that? 22?
I lost count. But I mean, more than likely, maybe the final season had a lot more characters because we were counting some of the other, because they time travel and all that. So there's a lot of characters and all. So the final season could be the most.
Yeah, but I feel like with 2, it's striking because like I think like Fitz had like what 1 or 2 scenes as opposed, and this is a big Gonzalez episode because it's his final episode. But we had a lot of Gonzalez here. We had a lot of Real S.H.I.E.L.D. We had a lot of the Inhumans here. So yeah, it's a really large cast to deal with. Oh, okay, let's go on to Oliver Sava at the AV Club. Age of Ultron came and went, and its ramifications on S.H.I.E.L.D. are slight. All that Theta Protocol business was just leading up to the reveal that Coulson and Fury built a new S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, and the Avengers business in Sokovia has little impact on what Coulson and his team are currently dealing with. Sure, Gonzalez uses recent events as an example for why power needs to be kept in check by mentioning how the Avengers did nothing while Tony Stark built an AI that threatened all life on the planet, but this episode doesn't need the film to accelerate the plot the way last season's Turn relied on Winter Soldier, which is a good thing. I liked Age of Ultron, but I'm ready for something new in the MCU. Phase 1 introduced all... Okay, I'm trying to keep it more to S.H.I.E.L.D. here, not MCU stuff. The episode features the first use of the Inhuman as the classification for this breed of alien-human hybrids. And once Sky mentions it, everyone starts using it a lot. The producers really want viewers to remember the word Inhuman, and the Marvel Comics fan in me thrills whenever the character says the I word. But this show is taking a very safe approach to the Inhumans. No superhero or giant teleporting dogs here. Believe me, you don't know what you're asking for. I will say, if S.H.I.E.L.D. I have full faith that if you took the team that is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the showrunners, the writers' room, all the crafts people, the effects people, if you brought that whole team and you asked them to do Inhumans, I guarantee you would have gotten a show that was 100,000 times better than what was actually produced in 2017, 2018, whenever it was. Because that show was quite simply one of the biggest embarrassments ever. In large part because of how much of a miserable failure it was to be able to bring some of those characters to life that you're talking about. So, yeah, I think S.H.I.E.L.D. used the Inhumans the best way possible.
Yeah.
And I do feel for the lack of those really, like, those characters like, you know, Medusa and Lockjaw, right? Like, you need a movie level budget for that.
Yeah.
We don't have that here. But what we do have is Reyna, who looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, you know. Anyway, throw a pair of sunglasses on Gordon. Hey, it's budget. Hey, it's TV. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. looks like it could be pretty much any primetime action drama until Reyna shows up on screen, and hopefully future Inhumans will feature more of this kind of unconventional design work to bring extra style to the series. I'm still wary of Reyna's precognitive abilities, but Scars handles her visions well by not showing them to the viewer. This is especially effective when doubt is cast on Reyna's honesty, so when she has a vision about Jiaying's meeting with S.H.I.E.L.D. going horribly wrong, the audience doesn't know if she's lying or not. Cal convinces Jiaying that Reyna is manipulating her and everyone else to satisfy her own selfish desires, and that, here's the key word of the year, paranoia, ultimately leads to Afterlife going to war with S.H.I.E.L.D. While Age of Ultron may not play a direct role in this episode, it does have a strong thematic tie to the story, particularly with regards to the consequences of power left unchecked. But Coulson isn't the powerful figure that poses a danger. Jiaying doesn't answer to anyone in Afterlife, and that total control allows her to throw her people into a war that nobody is ready for. Like Tony Stark, Jiaying's drastic actions are done in the name of safety for her people, and like Tony Stark, Jiaying hasn't considered the negative consequences. I really enjoyed this show's portrayal of Robert Gonzalez, who is rightfully nervous about the tipping balance of power in the world, but is also diplomatic and sympathetic to the needs of others. His agenda doesn't align with Coulson's, but that doesn't make him a villain, and Edward James Olmos doesn't play him that way. Gonzalez recognizes the danger of Inhumans and other enhanced people, but he also recognizes the benefits they can provide, and he doesn't want to jeopardize his relationship with potential assets when he has a private conversation with Jiaying. Gonzalez goes in with a gift to show that he's a friend, but Jiaying is insulted by his claims that they have the same Hydra-created scars and angered by the indexing of inhuman people, and she's not wrong. Gonzalez's leg injury is nothing compared to what Hydra did to Jiaying, taking advantage of her immortality to rip her apart and dissect her insides. And the inhuman people have lived in peaceful solitude for most of their existence, so why should they willingly hand over valuable information to an organization that wants to restrict their extraordinary power? She's not going to sacrifice the future of her people simply because some man asked nicely and gave her a gift. She's going to fight back and starts by dropping a Terrigen crystal that turns Gonzalez to ash, then shooting 2 bullets into her chest to make it look like she acted in self-defense. Jiaying and Gonzalez's big scene reveals that the Inhumans know how to create Terrigen crystals, which lends more credence to the theory that this season is building to the deployment of a Terrigen bomb. I'm really hoping that comes to pass. I don't know what that is, because I'm ready for an influx of superpowered characters. Okay, I don't know what. Anyway, stray observations. The opening sequence of Billy Koenig waking up in his Star Wars sheets and getting ready to go to work is a lot of fun. Seeing how characters approach their mornings is a quick way of reinforcing personality. Another example, Simmons' introduction and meeting friends and influencing people, which makes me want to see how everyone in the cast gets up each day. Mac quits the team this week, and I will miss his beefcake and flirting with Fitz, but not much else. He was pretty boring. I'm not sure if we've mentioned this, but there's been there are some small sect of people on the fans that thought Mac was gay. That they were shipping Mac and Fitz early on. Hey, there are ships of all kinds. There are ships of all kinds, and I know that there are some that are given a lot more validity to others. I'm not gonna bemoan people for like having a fantasy. People should be allowed to fantasize. The only evidence that I can point to where people would like think that is that there is this episode early on where Fitz is like bringing attention to Mac's physique, which is obviously his psyche. Okay, but
sure.
I don't know. That definitely wasn't my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to put that out there. Okay. Kara is still bad and working with Ward. Why shouldn't? Which shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. I hope Bobby kicks her ass really hard. That's funny. And then some lines that stood out to Oliver. This way, we'll have a cool underground base and a boat. Coulson always delivers with these lines. I didn't know she was there at the time. She had very dark hair. If she's not okay, I will personally rip out Raina's little tainted rat heart. Or not, whatever you want. If you think about it, mostly terrible stuff happened on that thing. There was a scene where like May and Coulson were like mourning the bus, which is appropriate. I'm sorry, that looked very old. Was it old? Cal on his lines. David, did you have any reaction to any of what I just said?
I think it's funny that one and Omni's reaction was like, why would Gonzalez compare himself to what Johnny went through? Because even I was like,
yeah,
even I had a look on my face like, why would you say that? No, that's not the same, my guy. But I get what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
But also funny though that Johnny brings that up. It's like, did you really just compare me to you? But yeah, and then. Also, you brought up or that person brought up, why wasn't Gonzalez like doing anything when it was very clear that Jiaying was like threatening him or something like, or she was about to do something evil with the crystal and all that. I hate when people complain about those because like people also complained. I don't know if you remember the final season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, where it was Ahsoka and Maul fighting together, and they were like in that I don't know, like some bar or something. and it was like right before the fight ends, you know, where he gets captured and everything. And you know, they were like on some metal bar and everything, where
they were on the rooftop of the cityscape. Basically.
Yeah. And so Maul was like on the right side of the screen, Ahsoka on the left, and people were kind of like, Maul, just cut the bar, or cut the bar, she'll fall down and all that. And but the whole time I'm like, there's actually like multiple things that can happen in that moment, so you kind of have to like take a minute to assess what you're gonna do.
This goes back to this attitude: people, stop trying to outsmart something. You're ruining everything.
No, yeah, but then like I said too, it's like anything could happen. It's like, okay, Gonzalez, you know, he gets that feeling. Sure, he can shoot, but that's still a pretty fragile crystal. If his aim's not good, she'll drop it, he'll still die. Like, the outcome is good. No matter what happens, the outcome is going to be his death. It's better to play along and somehow convince her, or somehow call for help, or I don't know, or like just try to get out of that situation or calm her down in that situation. So I always hate it when people like kind of overanalyze that thing. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen, so best to just see the outcome of it.
More reactions here from people who watched this 10 years ago for the first time on Reddit. Reyna wasn't lying? Oh, God. And then another one, the bullet list of things. Jiaying trying to show us that she's more crazy and manipulative than Ward. Were we happy or sad that Gonzalez got turned to ash?
No.
Vicious.
I love that actor from the very beginning. I was really sad that he was gone.
Yeah,
as much as it was like annoying that he was against Coulson and all that. That moment that actually, even rewatching it, like kind of got to me. It's like, oh, that's really cute that like he gave her this. So
that Agent 33 reveal was awesome. I didn't think anything was up until she pulled the gun and clicked. I just seen two Mays on two different Quinjets in the past 20 seconds. It really does get you, honestly. Like, so much has happened, and you're like, wait. And then some other person responded. I was exactly the same with me. I was like, well, hey, there's May. Wait, there's May, but she's with Bobby. What the fuck? Agent 33? Yeah. This is an all-timer. That awkward moment when your mom starts a war. Yeah. Reyna totally wasn't lying when she said both of Sky's parents were monsters. What the actual fuck, Jiaying? We thought Reyna was gonna fuck this up, or S.H.I.E.L.D., but her? Now that's a fucking plot twist. She's even more manipulative than Reyna. What a bitch. Oh God! But you know what? That's the thing. It's like the whole episode. You're just like, the episode's telling you, yeah, you can't trust Reyna, but at the same time, do you really trust Gonzalez after the coup he led against S.H.I.E.L.D.? And that it turns out neither of them. They were both like red herrings. It was Jiaying all along. Gosh. Other comments that I'm seeing on here. Bahahaha, Hunter adding spikes to Reyna's file picture. God, Hunter is hilarious. Cal is making all the sense in the world with Reyna. Let's see here. And then here's a comment. And again, this is one of the, I guess, some other side to it. May is really starting to piss me off lately. I don't see anything that Coulson did wrong that you haven't done in the past with the invasion of privacy. There's more going on than I think, David, you touch on what it's the emotional aspect of it. It's with Andrew, and then also with what happened with Sky. Really, I think was what's driving all of it. Also, she should have been aware of this. She should have been told.
Yeah,
I would even argue there is no good reason Coulson kept this from her, whereas what May kept from Coulson in season 1, honestly, looking back, was a lot more justified. She could not tell him, not because I'm following orders, but if she had said something, it may have triggered the alien biology, and he probably would have ended up going downhill and having to be put down. I don't know. That's just how I see it. Well, fuck you too, Mac. Gosh. I cannot get enough of the Coulson Hunter Fitz bromance. Let's see here. Cal with the unexpected feels of this episode. Damn, they are making me love Cal's character lately. Shit, Cal is gonna die. This is too heartfelt to not be led up to death. Also, Cal is totally gonna kill everybody on that Quinjet. I wonder how long 33 was pretending to be May. Well, shit has officially hit the fan. Sorry, Inhumans, but that stunt by Jiaying, I'm Team Shield on this one. They were being more than reasonable with the negotiations. And I guess I owe an apology. Sorry, Sonic. For once, you weren't being a manipulative bitch. Damn. Jiaying, let's hope you're one of us. So Cal is the less insane one in that relationship. He apologized for breaking the table. She starts a war. Oh, God. I don't know how I've never bothered to read these comments here on Reddit, but a lot of these are actually pretty funny. Yeah. Anyway, that'll be it for us. Any other anything else to say for this episode, David? Because we're basically at the end of the season. What we have left is 2 episodes with really SOS Part 1 and SOS Part 2. They're really one big episode. Like, and I mean this like more than any other episode we have seen so far in the show. They literally call it SOS Part 1 and SOS Part 2. They're one giant episode. Now, as far as I understand it, we're still going to treat them as 2 individual episodes. We're not going to, right? Or do you want to just watch the whole shebang in one sitting? It would be long. And then, of course, we need to, at some point, MLEB's video, too. Like, we need to, like, weave in the part where she talks about this part of the season, too. So, I don't think we're going to want to do 2 at the same time because it doesn't sound very appealing. Right, David? Or am I reading that wrong?
I don't know.
What do you think? Well, I guess if you're watching, you'll find out.
Yeah.
we haven't made that decision just yet. Yeah. Maybe we'll take some time when we're not. Maybe we'll take a day where we're not doing things and then do it then. But I guess you'll find out next time.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for watching and listening, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.